In this video, I'm going to review the order details. So I'll start off with looking at the admin section here. We're looking at the approved orders for the day. And as you can see, there's this particular job. Right here's the order, LRQL, and here's the job, O1. So if this person, the customer, is admin tester, if admin tester purchased multiple things at once, you would see those orders under here, the O2, O3, O4. You can also minimize this or extend all of them out. For a quick review of what they ordered, you can mouse over this little icon here. It tells you 5,000 business cards, the quantity, paper type, basically just the standard options of whatever they just ordered. It displays the images that they've uploaded and also adds any type of internal notes. Just a quick little view so you don't have to go into the job. Here's the total amount for the order, total amount that's owed for the order, and here's the total amount for that particular job and what's owed for that job. Remember, the jobs are O1, O2, O3, O4, and then the order is the LRQL. It also displays the rep. Here's a sales rep, and also the site. So if you're a hub and you have multiple storefronts under you, it'll display whatever storefront pushed this order to you, or if the order came from the hub. Now we'll go into the order. And I'll just start at top to bottom. Right away we see the job number, and the job number is always the date. So it's September 13th, 2016, and then this is just a random number, and this would be the job. So right now this order is pending. Here is the storefront that placed it, in this case the hub. It's an order on the hub. It tells you if there's a remaining balance on this particular job. If I want to, I can click that and I can process that payment through the admin. Up here I can go look at the previous job, I can go look at the next job, I can print the work order or download it. Box labels, I can print those. Packing slip, I can print that or download it. Same with the invoice, and if I wanted to edit this job, I can do so by clicking here. I'll get to that part at the end. Right here's the job name. Of course, the date of the job, when it was placed. It's placed 8 minutes ago. Here's the bill to and ship to section. You're able to click the person's name and go to their profile if you want to. Has their email address, alternate email address if it's listed, of course all their information, where it's going to be shipped to, and of course the shipping method. If I want to, I can manually charge their credit card if they didn't already make payment yet. I can reorder this particular job from here for them, and I can also add to-do or task reminder notes. Part of the software, it allows you to split ownership of clients or share a client or share a particular job. So this particular admin tester looks like it's shared with OJG, someone who was just messing around and tested that. In this particular customer here, admin, I can go into their settings and I can share this particular customer with somebody else. I can also do that at the very bottom. I can scroll all the way down and I can give this person 50% ownership, so they'll get 50% of the commission, and the admin T will also get 50% ownership. I'd have to click on update to do that. Okay, scrolling back up, here you'll see the SKU, the job details right here of what they ordered. I can also press this plus button to see if there's any additional options that they selected. Of course, a subtotal. If there's any discounts, they would display down here and give you a total cost. As we get further, this area right here, this would be for notes. This section right here, if they decided to write some notes to you. Scrolling down, I can upload files if I want to. I can delete all the files, and I can pre-flight the files. It does tell me that there's a resolution warning because it's not 300 DPI, it's going to throw that warning out to me. If I want to, I can proof it over here. And all the proofing tool does is it lays over some lines, so you'll be able to see where the cut lines are. But since it's not a high res, it's not going to work. Let's say they uploaded the front to the back and the back to the front. Well, I can reassign this. I can also reassign it to another order. Let's say they placed 3 jobs in an order, and job 3 has job 1 artwork in it. So I click on reassign, and which job do I want to reassign it to, and which file 1 or file 2. And then I click on reassign, and it will just move these files over to where I reassigned it. And then of course I can delete it. Here it displays the external job cost right here, the profit, the gross profit for the hub, the total weight of the job. If I click that, it'll take me to the box section for that particular product. Wholesale job cost, the storefront gross profit. Let's see here. There's an external reference number. Let's say I want to ship this out or send it to a third party to get done. Well, most likely I'd put their order number in there. If the files are pre-flighted, if actions required. Typically people use action required if something else needs to be done. Let's say it needs to be folded or it needs to be perforated. Well, that's something more other than being printed, so you would choose to have this to be action required. It gives you it gives everyone looking at the job a nice indication that they visually see that something else needs to be done. The job status, currently it's pending because it's not paid for. Let's say they came in and paid cash. Well, I would uncheck customer unpaid. It would make that 0, and I would put this to approved. And of course I'd have to scroll down and save, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to continue discussing the rest of the options here. If I want to, I can add a late fee to here. If it's past the cutoff time, and let's say you have a $20 cutoff fee payment that they need to make in order to get that job in on the runs, I can add that here. Let's see. Shipping method is already selected. The ship date, let's say this job is now completed and I'm ready to ship this out. I can either select today, or if I'm going to ship it tomorrow and it's out in my UPS rack, I can choose the date for tomorrow. The customer shipping tracking ID, this is emailed to the customer. So if I choose FedEx, I ship today, well, I'm going to want to put the tracking ID right here, or the tracking number, and once I save this page, it'll automatically send that to the customer. Any type of internal ID, let's say it's being shipped to you from a vendor and then you need to ship it to your customer. Well, you're not going to want your vendor tracking number to be in this section here. That's only for your customer. You're not going to want to know, you don't want your customer to know that it's being shipped from 4 over to you and then you're shipping it from you to them. So any shipping coming to you, I would suggest you put in the internal shipping ID section. Any type of notes, you can add images, you can add links, whatever your business model is, you can do. And any note that's created, it's put down here. You can also make it, looks like it's just private available. Typically you can make it private or public. Public means that the customer logs in, they view their order, and they'll see the notes. So if you just want to make a note to a CSR, a sales rep, or any other admin, you would select private. If you want it to be high priority, which will always stay at top, which I'll show you, test this, add the note. Scroll down, test this right here, it's private and it's in red, which means it's high priority, and high priority will always stay at the top. And if I want to, I can delete that internal comment. Scrolling down, I can send a memo to the customer, and we have a lot of merge fields here, so if I just want to customer's first name, and then maybe there was an issue with the size, and I want to say, hello customer, there was an issue with order product size and job number. You can basically use these and create your own template. That way you don't have to always type all this information out. You can also use a template. So if I type something, I can click on Use Template. If I want to send it to the customer, I would check that. And scrolling down, the job extras, if I want to mark this as high priority, I would check this. If it's a comp sponsorship job, which means we're not collecting any money from them, I would check that. If they're a reseller, I would check this. And if they get free coding, that means they would not be charged for the coding. Extended cutoff time, if I wanted to allow this job to go in production if it was placed after the cutoff time. If I want to send a job follow-up email, let's select that. The IP address of where the job was placed. Any transaction ID numbers would show up here. If it was PayPal or if it was credit card, that information would be here. Since it's cash, there are no transaction IDs. If I want to send this customer an order reminder, I would select the date. If this order was completed and I'm running payroll and I want to select this as the payout was completed, I would do so. If I want to skip the payout to the sales rep, I would select that. And restrict sales rep commission payout, I would select this. Of course, I can save everything, go to the previous page, save and stay on the page, save, proceed to the next job, save and print work order, save and duplicate job, save and copy the job. And if I want to add a reminder or a task, I can do that here as well. I can send the customer an invoice. I can also send them just a job invoice receipt. So the order would be the complete order of all the jobs within it. And then if I just wanted to send them an invoice or receipt for a particular job, I would select that. But since this is just one order within a job, one job within an order, there's no option to do that. And of course, select here to send them an email. It automatically defaults their email address. I can change that if I want to, if they request that I send it to their manager and they give me someone else's email. Okay, down here is the ship boxes and tracking information. Of course, there's nothing could be found because we didn't ship anything. Down here again, the sales rep, there's an ownership and there's an auxiliary. So this particular customer is being shared by admin T and OGG. I can delete that person if I no longer want this customer to be shared with them. Maybe it was a one-time thing. Maybe I want to put ownership to this particular job at 50% and 50%. That way they split the commission. I can update that. I can always add a sales rep. Let's say Samantha was helping out with this job and she placed it for the customer when I was out of town. And maybe Samantha and I had an agreement that I give her 10% of all the orders that she puts in for me. Well, I would add her here, click on Add Rep, and then I'd put 10% on top of her name, and then I would update it. And at the very bottom, you'll see relationships. So if a job is connected to a mailer, or let's say a job is, let's say a job's being mailed out somewhere. So this is the print order, and then you have another order for the mailing services. Well, I'd want to put the mailing services order number here, and then a description of why this is being related. So there's the, I'm just guessing, but here's the mailing job order, and the description would be mailing order. And I would add that. And what this does is it links these two together. So whenever I'm viewing this particular job or viewing this other job, it'll show a little icon, which will be a little link, and then I'll know that something is linked to this particular job. And that pretty much covers the entire order details. Thank you.